Welcome to another Ziva Math video. In this video, we're going to identify the slope and the y-intercept when we're given an equation. And in order to do that, you're going to have the equation in slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b, where m is your slope and b is your y-intercept. Let's take a look at our examples. I want to identify the slope and y-intercept in the equation y equals 2x plus 3. And if our equation is in slope-intercept form, the form of y equals mx plus b, then all I have to do is identify the parts of the equation that are in place of m and in place of b in my equation. So m is the slope, and in my equation, 2 is where m is. So 2, and let's check the sign, it's going to be a positive 2, so my slope is positive 2. Then for my y-intercept, I'm going to look for the part of the equation that is in place of b, and that's the 3. And if we check the sign, it is a positive 3, so my y-intercept is 3. So in this example, the slope is positive 2, and my y-intercept is positive 3. In this example, I'm going to identify the slope and y-intercept in the equation y equals negative 4x minus 8. And my equation is in the slope-intercept form of y equals mx plus b. So my slope is going to be the negative 4. The negative 4 is in place of m. And notice that this time my slope is negative. The m is a negative 4, so my slope is negative 4. And then my y-intercept is where b is. And in this example, I have a negative 8. Again, checking the sign, it is a negative 8. So my y-intercept is negative 8. I want to identify the slope and y-intercept in the equation y equals negative a half x plus 7. And I'm going to check and make sure that my equation is in slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b, and it is. And to identify the slope, I'm just going to look for the number in front of x. And this time I see that it's negative 1/2. It doesn't matter whether m is a whole number or a fraction, positive or negative. Whatever is in place of m in that formula, y equals mx plus b in that form, is going to be your slope. So in this example, our slope is negative 1/2. And then we need our y-intercept, which is our b here, and our y-intercept is positive 7. So our slope is negative 1/2, and our y-intercept is 7. In this example, I have y equals 2/3 x, and I want to identify the slope and the y-intercept. We know in our slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b, our slope is where m is, and that is 2/3. So what about the y-intercept? I don't see a b in the equation. I don't have a plus b. But what that is, because I don't see it, is actually you can think about it as being a plus 0. So your y-intercept is going to be 0. I'm going to identify the slope and y-intercept in the equation 2x plus y equals 1. And in order to identify those pieces, I have to get my equation into the slope-intercept form. So I need it to be y equals mx plus b. So I'm going to work with this as I have with equations. And I'm going to add the line here first, because whatever I'm going to do to the left-hand side, I'm going to have to do to the right-hand side, because my two sides of the equation must remain balanced. On the left-hand side, I want just y, which means I'm going to be subtracting the 2x from the left. If I subtract 2x from the left, I'm going to have to subtract 2x from the right. Now on the left, I have 2x minus 2x is 0, and I still have the positive y. So on the left-hand side, I'll have y. And on the right-hand side, I have negative 2x. I don't have anything else with the x variable, so I'll have negative 2x, and then I have the positive 1 on that side. Now my equation y equals negative 2x plus 1 is in the form of y equals mx plus b. So I can easily identify the slope. M is the slope. That's where the negative 2 is. So negative 2 is my slope. And b is the y-intercept. And 1 is in place of b. So positive 1 is my y-intercept. In this example, I have negative 3x plus 4y equals 8, and I want to identify the slope and y-intercept of this equation. So the first thing I'm going to need to do is I'm going to get this equation into the slope-intercept form. So I need it to be in the format y equals mx plus b in order to identify the slope and y-intercept. So I'm going to work with this just like I would any other equation. Whatever I do on the left-hand side, I'm going to need to do on the right-hand side because I need to keep them both balanced. So I'm going to place the line here through the equal sign so that I can be sure that whatever I do on one side, I do to the other side. And the first thing I'm going to do is on the left-hand side, I don't want anything with the variable x. So I'm going to add 3x to the left-hand side, and I'll need to add 3x to the right-hand side because adding the 3x is that inverse operation. So negative 3x plus 3x on the left is 0, and that leaves me with 4y on the left. Then on the right-hand side, I don't have anything else with the variable x except for the 3x. So I'll have 3x, and I still have the 8 on that side. So I'll have 3x plus 8 on the right. Now, looking back at our slope-intercept format, I have y equals mx plus b. So I need the y all by itself. I can't have 4y. It needs to be a single y. So I'm going to need to divide by 4 so I can get y by itself. If I divide by 4 on the left-hand side, I'm also going to need to divide the 3x by 4, and I'll need to divide the plus 8 by 4. So on the left-hand side, 4 divided by 4 is 1. 1y is simply y. And then on the right-hand side, I have 3x divided by 4. So 3 over 4, that gives me 3/4 x plus 8 over 4. 8 divided by 4 is 2, so plus 2. Now, I do have an equation in the format of y equals mx plus b, so I can identify my slope. My slope is the 3/4. 3/4 is where m would be. So m, or the slope, is 3/4. And b, or my y-intercept, is 2. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to Ziva Math for more videos.